Hi, everyone, and welcome to week one of the course. I'm Denise Hess. I'm a palliative care chaplain by background. Happy to be with you over the next 8 weeks. And my colleague.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jaime Goldberg. I am a palliative social worker by training, currently working on my PhD at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. So hello from Madison. And just want to mention, we like to have an egalitarian course here. So please call us Jaime and Denise.
Yes. Oh, thanks for that. I almost forgot. So a little high level overview of what what you already are getting into. I know for many of you, maybe even just seeing the title of this course, seeing the fact that, oh, darn, this is required for the track I'm in, might have evoked all kinds of thoughts and feelings. And just to let you know, from my perspective and Jamie's perspective, we welcome all of that. It is definitely not a requirement of the course that you feel excited necessarily about this course or are looking forward to it. Feelings of dread or boredom or I already know all this are all welcome and okay. As you'll see, what we're saying right now is really a theme of the entire course. This course is about creating a space for all of us to interact with the course materials over the next 8 weeks in ways that make sense for us, not only for our professional development, but also for our personal development. And that's where this course really might be quite different from any other course you've taken in the program thus far. So that being said, if you're one of the folks coming with a little bit of dread or reluctance to this material, so be it. We welcome that. You are welcome here. If, on the other hand, you're one of the people who's coming with a yes, I can't wait. I've been looking forward to this course. This is my area of expertise. This is my wheelhouse. We invite you to bring all of that too. The wonderful thing that happens in these online cohorts, these online temporary communities that we form together, are that together this mix of knowledge and expertise and life experience and biases and our own countertransference, we'll learn more about that later, all consistently combined together to create what Jaime and I find to be a really formative and informative experience for all of us, Jaime and I included. So if you have other resources, other ideas, other areas of expertise that come from your life and your professional training, bring them all into the mix. We are better together. More is more. And Jaime and I are here to welcome all of that and support you. We also want to make sure that everyone knows that this class, is primarily discussion board led. It's a high focus on the discussion board. And Jaime will talk more about that later, but just that again can prompt in some people a variety of feelings. We invite you on the discussion boards to participate with the level of vulnerability and openness that feels right to you, knowing that Jaime and I are 100% committed to keeping the discussion board, our shared community environment, safe for everyone. And if any time something's happening on the discussion board that you have questions about or you don't feel quite right about, definitely reach out to Jaime and I right away. We want to know about that. We want to make sure everyone feels equipped and supported to participate fully in all that this class has to offer you. Again, just to reiterate professionally and personally, because we will ask a lot of personal questions in this course. So just to kind of give you the heads up about that. So that's kind of our overview. I'll hand it off to you, Jaime, to get into some of the nuts and bolts.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Denise, and thanks for setting such a great foundation for us to build on over the next 8 weeks. So some of the nuts and bolts for the course in general. Overall, this course is set up like any of the other courses you might have taken in the program. There is the discussion board, as Denise mentioned, which is kind of the focal point of the course. And there are also assignments as well as CAPC courses, modules for you to work through. And all of the information for all 8 weeks is posted in Blackboard. So feel free to peruse through the modules to kind of get a feel for the trajectory of the course and the topics that we will be covering. As always, the discussion board, your initial discussion board posts are due on Thursdays at 11:59 p.m. And all of the other work is due, the responses to the discussion board, your reflection journals, your assignments, the CAPC modules are all due Sunday at 11:59 p.m. unless otherwise noted in a particular module. I think that only comes up once in module 2. So just a note on that, but in general, Thursday, 11:59 p.m. for the initial discussion board post, and then all other work is due Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Lynn likes to say, and we like to embrace, if it's there by the time we wake up the next morning and check Blackboard, that's fine. We like to give you some leniency there. If you are burning the midnight oil and working really late into the night, that is on you. You are all adult learners and can manage your own schedules. We do ask, though, that if you do need an extension beyond the next morning, that you please reach out to us via email. It would be ideal if you sent an email to both of us, just to let us know that you need an extension. If we hear from you in advance, even if it's 2 minutes before the due date, or the time that something is due, we are happy to grant you an extension. No points will be taken off if we hear from you in advance. That is absolutely fine. We know that many of you are balancing work and school and family life and caregiving and so many things that you're juggling, and we want to be as flexible as possible. If we don't hear from you, it just becomes a little harder for us on the back end to be able to be flexible, especially with points. We do hope that you are able to view this course, as Denise said, as professional and personal growth, and that you're able to focus on the material and learning for the sake of learning rather than focusing on the grades. That's what we hope for you. We also know that we are trained to focus on grades. So if the points are important to you and you need an extension, just let us know in advance. That's the bottom line. It just becomes very hard for us if we don't hear from you beforehand. Then if something is late, we do need to deduct points. And we hate doing it. We really do. The other thing just to keep in mind is that these 8 weeks go by very, very quickly. And so we ask you to please get started right away. The first tab that we'll invite you to look at is the Start Here tab. That's where you'll find the syllabus and the honey-do list. We suggest printing those out. That's really, they'll be helpful for you to stay organized through the 8 weeks and know that that all the information about textbooks and due dates are all there. The last thing that I'll mention just about being in touch with us. If you're not in touch with us and we don't hear from you, we do worry about you. We worry that you might be ill. We worry, as Denise mentioned, that the material for this course is often very personal. And for some people, it might strike a nerve, it might trigger something. And when we don't hear from you, and you might not have submitted something, we worry that maybe something was triggered and that you're feeling upset about something. So please, 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 many of you in the fall took communication courses, and I would argue that every course in a palliative care program is a communication course. So please, please communicate with us about how you're doing and how we can be most supportive for you through the course. Denise and I throughout the course will be sharing lots of additional resources with you. We have tons of articles and videos and so many different things that we like to share. For some students, they are hungry for this, they eat it up, they absolutely love it. For some other students, they've shared with us that it makes them feel anxious because they can't get to everything and they're feeling very overwhelmed. We are not sharing it for you to be feel any pressure to look at that information immediately. We're helping you, we hope, to build your library, to have as many resources as possible. So if something is shared and you say, oh, that's so interesting, know that it will be there for you. The Blackboard, your access to Blackboard stays. So, and the course remains available to you even after the 8 weeks are over. So please don't feel any pressure to read any of the additional articles or look at any of the videos immediately if you don't have the bandwidth for that. I'll highlight that we often post to Cyber Cafe, which is kind of a separate piece of Blackboard in the course. And so any questions, any issues that are course related, please, please post there. If a link isn't working, if you can't open an article, if you have a question about the wording of an assignment, anything like that, please post it in Cyber Cafe. You'll find in Cyber Cafe that there are a few threads that we've already started. One is a citation cheat sheet that is could be helpful for you as you're figuring out how to do citations in your work. And we have set up 2 resource hubs as well. One is for additional resources that may not come up in the discussion board, and the other is for upcoming events. Some of you may need continuing education credits. We often hear about webinars and conferences and things like that, and we'll just share those with you in that thread. So I think that that is the kind of nuts and bolts overview. And I'll go into just a little bit of information about Module 1 now. So in Module 1, we're going to be talking about kind of the introduction to what is psychosocial, cultural, and spiritual care, and why is this important, and what does this even mean? So this week, there is one discussion where you get to introduce yourself, and we would love for you to share a picture if you feel comfortable doing so. That's discussion 1.0. Discussion 1.1 is asking you to, in your own words, explain why these aspects of care are so important. And then discussion 1.2 is asking you to think about how we show up for patients and families while also taking care of ourselves. And that one is titled Empathy with Boundaries. So this is something that many of us in helping professions really struggle with because we always want to do more and more and more to help. And then sometimes we end up feeling like pieces of ourselves are being taken. And so how do we find that right, delicate balance? A hint, it's always a work in progress. And then the last piece for Module 1 is the assignment, which is to watch a video. You'll meet Doug, who is a patient, and thinking about the domains of issues associated with illness and bereavement, which is part of the reading for this week. You'll take a chart from there and really basically fill in the chart based on what you hear Doug say. We're not asking for a paper, we are actually asking for bullet points this week based on what you're hearing from Doug. I just want to mention that meeting Doug and hearing his story is poignant, and we love all that he has to share. And I do want to mention that the video is not perfect. We've searched and searched for many different videos, and we still think that Doug's is the best. And there are some shortcomings of the video. So we do have a post in discussion 1.1 that point out some of the shortcomings of the video for your consideration, for your learning. So we invite you to please make sure to read that thread in discussion 1.1. So I think that is it for the nuts and bolts for the course and for this week. As always, if there are any questions or concerns that anyone has, please reach out to us. If there are more course-related issues, feel free to post on Cyber Cafe. And I'll send it back to Denise.
Thanks, everyone. And to get us started, I will read one of my favorite quotes from Rachel Naomi Remen. And it will, again, reflect the flavor of this course, and what we're inviting you all to enter into is, let this be a space for you where you can grow professionally and personally. And for those of us who work in palliative care, that often means reflecting on our own interactions, our own relationship with loss and grief and suffering. So here's the quote: "The expectation that we can be immersed in suffering and loss daily and not be touched by it is as unrealistic as expecting to be able to walk through water without getting wet." So some of us might just have a few drips on us. Some of us might be coming to the course soaking wet, drenched in suffering, whether professionally and personally. And again, we are glad you're here. We think that this course can be a place of processing, of reflection. I would even go so far to say of healing for you. So we are glad you're here and happy that you are going to join us and join with each other on this 8-week journey. See you on the discussion boards.
Bye, everyone.